93 Boxing, I'm back with a quick video. I want to talk about Errol Spence. Errol Spence already, right, has beat Kell Brook in a competitive fight where both showed skills, heart. I feel like Kell Brook showed some heart, more heart than what people think, and I'm not a Kell Brook fanboy, far from it. And Errol Spence came through it. He went to Sheffield in Kell Brook's hometown and he did the job, took the belt, went back home. Errol Spence wants Danny Garcia, who doesn't have a belt right now. And he called Danny Garcia out again. This guy is on Danny Garcia's neck trying to get the fight. You see, Errol Spence is a real fighter. A real fighter. Like, you know, a lot of top fighters, when they come to the scene, they have this type of mindset. They're willing to fight everyone. They're willing to fight any and everyone. Literally, Keith Thurman. Remember Keith Thurman? If you can beat me, beat me. Right? Remember what you were saying? Now, when it comes to Errol Spence, he doesn't seem too confident. And I must say, I didn't really have a problem with him avoiding Errol Spence before the Kell Brook fight. Because at the time, who was Errol Spence? He didn't really prove himself too much. And Keith Thurman is going to fight Danny Garcia. He's not like he's cherry picking right now. He fought Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Luis Collazo, Robert Guerrero. He's got a resume. He's got a resume. And the thing is, that type of hunger with Keith Thurman seems to be gone. And Black Fight Fan TV also said this. Shout out to him. Go check his channel out. What I like to say, right, is we've seen fighters that are willing to fight anyone. We've seen Keith Thurman be like that. We've seen, well, to a certain extent, some people are going to say Triple G was like that, and maybe. I mean, he was like that to certain fighters, but not to everyone, in my opinion. At one point, Amir Khan was like that. A lot of fighters were like that. I mean, I'm just thinking of some examples in the world, around the world, with that division. You know, Luis Ortiz seems to be like that. But, you know, here's the thing, right? A lot of times fighters, when they get that big paycheck and when they're like, either that or they had enough of the fans, because I feel like that's one of the reasons, right? Black Fight Fan TV talked about, you know, when fighters get some paper, they kind of lose some motivation. Like, look at O'Hara Davis, and that's true. That's definitely true. I mean, think about it, right? If you came from nothing, you got like $10 million or pound. Either way, I mean, shit, that's a lot of money. You're going to be fighting. You're going to get hit in the face after getting $10 million? Really? I wouldn't. But I think it's also more to do with something else. Keith Thurman was about all that, right? He got criticism for fighting Leonard Bondu because he didn't reach the expectation that people wanted him to reach. Then he fought Luis Collazo and did not look the best, and then the fans were shitting on him. Now, I shitted on him for being hypocritical. I mean, obviously, of Amir Khan's being the most overrated welterweight, but then you know, he talked about over the hill Collazo, but then Collazo gave you a harder fight, things like that. But you know, those sort of performances happen from anyone. Khan looked worse against Julio Diaz, for example. But you know, Keith Thurman, right? Here's the thing about Keith Thurman. He looked at those performances, how fans treated him, and I'm fairly sure that had something to do with him being less hungry. Because, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, money is a motivation. World titles are a motivation. They are definitely motivations, right? But fans, when you come into the scene, I'm fairly sure fans are a motivation as well. You're pleasing thousands and thousands of people. And yeah, I'm fairly sure he's trying to get the fan support and whatnot, but at the same time, it must have an effect of some sort when the fans were riding for you, right? And then a lot of fans were suddenly criticizing you. Then it's a matter of, why should I fight for the fans when I can fight for the title? Why should I care about others when I might as well just do things for myself? People are criticizing you and shit. What's the point? You see what I'm trying to say? I feel like Keith Thurman has turned away. Like, he fights once a year, right? And people complain about that. But to be honest, like, I wish he didn't fight once a year, more than that. But I feel like it's kind of like the fans' fault in a way as well. Like, I know some people are going to say, what do you mean? Fans have supported him, but fans have criticized him as well. boxing fans are some of the biggest critiques. I mean, like, let's be real. Like, I feel like we need to understand, like, we need to really realize what we're doing. I remember someone gave me a video a long time ago of Amir Khan, and he's like, people are criticizing me for taking the shot, but at the end of the day, I'm the one that's in the ring taking the shot. You're not in the ring taking the shot. This is a good point, right? I mean, I'm not going to use Amir Khan as an example because I don't even know when he's going to be back in shit. But, anyone, Danny Garcia, take a look at Danny Garcia, right? This guy, he goes out there to fight Amir Khan, knocks him out. He goes out there to fight Morales, knocks him out. He goes out to fight Judah, he beats him. Entertaining fight. Lucas Matisse beats him. So, okay, he's beaten some good oppositions, right? And before Khan, he beat Kendall Holt. He beat Morales as well. I think he beat Nate Campbell as well. Ashley Theophane. That was a competitive fight, I think. I watched a little bit of it. So Danny Garcia was doing well, right? And they're all human beings. Anyone can have a bad day, and anyone can face someone with a style that's like awkward, like bad for them. Because styles do make fights. But Danny Garcia fights Mauricio Herrera, which style I never knew about Herrera. I just heard the name before. I know he Provodnikov, but I've never seen him fight. Looking at the style, that's the sort of style that I would think Danny Garcia will have problems with. Awkward, pesky, kind of like just awkward as fuck. Hard to figure out. And Herrera he made Garcia, to the point where I have no problem if people think Danny Garcia lost the fight. Like, it was a competitive fight, in my opinion. Danny Garcia looked bad in that fight. He didn't look too good in Lamont Peterson either, right? So you look at all those, right? And he picked one cherry. No shit, he's going to pick a cherry. Like, look how much you're criticizing. After all the fights that he gave you, he still has one of the best resumes in boxing. People are still shitting on him for not looking too good against Matisse. And it's one thing to critique someone, but when you're hating and shit, thinking this guy ain't shit, why is he going to listen to you? You see what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like some of the fans need to... I feel like the reason why boxing was dead last year and the year before and the year before and the year before like that is because of the fans. Simply because of us fans. I feel like we need to appreciate the fighters a bit more and not shit on those fighters for taking a loss. I never shit on Kell Brook for losing to Errol Spence. And I did shit on him for because he was shitting on other fighters when that fighter was getting beat up and shit. But other than that, I don't have a problem with Kell Brook losing. I don't have a problem with anyone. Like, people that you think I hate, I don't have a problem with them losing. I've never criticized Kell Brook for quote-unquote quitting. When people that don't hate Kell Brook as much as I do, or as much as I've shown to have done, have criticized him for quitting. As long as he fight good competition, I have respect for that. I have really good respect for that. So, I feel like Errol Spence is on that point where he's willing to fight everyone. He's definitely willing to fight everyone. On top of that, I feel like Errol Spence is he's a dedicated fighter. He's definitely he definitely lives the fighter's lifestyle. He's hungry as fuck. Willing to come to Sheffield and whatever. He's willing to fight. Just fight, about business. He's trying to fight Danny Garcia now. I really hope fans don't... Errol Spence may end up with a performance where he doesn't look too good. No one's invincible, right? I don't see any top fighter that has looked impressive in all of their fights if they fought, given that they have fought high-level oppositions on a consistent basis. I've never seen it. Floyd Mayweather didn't look amazing against Marcos Maidana in the first fight, right? It's a fight that he won, but I didn't feel like he looked amazing. But everyone's human, you could have factors outside boxing that you may not speak about. It could just be a bad night and things like that, Errol Spence will end up having a bad night, whether he wins, loses, or just... He might not lose, but he might have a night where he doesn't look as good as people thought he would. And I feel like that will happen. Don't hop off his dick and go to another dick. This is for the people that just keep dick hopping. It's one thing to critique a fighter, but don't just sort of abandon him, as a fan. that's really demotivating for a fighter. No matter how much a fighter doesn't say it, a fighter's not going to sit there and cry over it in front of live television or in front of social media, because that's not what fighters are like. But it affects him. It definitely affects him. Errol Spence is a special talent, and he is doing everything right. He's doing everything a fighter is supposed to do. Go out there, fight, even in people's home turf, get the title, look to fight anyone, look to unify the division, living the fighter's lifestyle, confident, looking for competition at all times. Yeah, but also confident and humble at the same time. That's my favorite thing about Errol Spence outside the ring. This guy is supremely confident, but also he's not like he doesn't come across as a fuckboy either. He seems like a down to earth. I like that. I like Errol Spence mainly for that. And that's the thing. Like, American fans needs to back this guy, even if he has a bad performance here and there. Don't let him off the hook as a fan. Just support him throughout. That's all I'm asking people to do in this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment, let me know what you think. 93 Boxing, I'm out.